Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I want to do things a little bit different for this video. I want to take some time to go through my experience going through Street Fighter 6, the beta. Just give you my thoughts on the whole experience I had over the 3 days that we had with the game. I've been watching quite a few Street Fighter 6 videos on YouTube, and I don't see that many videos on the actual experience there. You know, I see a lot of 50 hit, 60 hit combo videos, a lot of jury foot fetishes, stuff like that. But I didn't see anything in regards to what you're going to see or expect to see in the Battle Hub when the full game releases. So I'm going to talk about the unpopular stuff, like the functionality of the whole thing, the networks, the servers, conversing with other players from other countries, stuff like that. Now, the first thing that surprised me was the functionality of the servers, playing with other players from other countries. I remember playing someone from Canada. I've played people from Brazil and other countries in Europe, and I was surprised how easily I can access the service from those countries and be able to get in like literally 10-15 seconds. I was in that server playing those people. I assume this is how it's going to be when the full game releases. Accessing the emote features was kind of confusing at first, a little complicated. A lot more button combinations than I realized, but you know, I kind of played with it for a little bit and got the hang of it over time. It does have a photo mode, which tripped me out. I'm pretty sure some people are going to like that. And this is what every player's profile looks like. You can basically go up to anybody and just like click on them, on their character, and you'll see their stats, how much time they've been practicing, and how much time they spent in the Battle Hub, the World Tour, which country they're from. You know, that way you can get an idea of the person that you want to challenge. Also, if there's already 2 people fighting, you can kind of like join a queue and kind of be next in line if you want to fight a particular person. In the options menu is where you can do your button mapping and kind of get an understanding of what the buttons are, like light attack, medium attack, strong attack, your special move, the buttons for parry, the buttons for drive impact. Like for instance, the R2 button, the assist button, is what you're going to use to do your EX moves. The EX moves are the moves where you have like a basic move, but you can add an extra power to it for it to be effective in certain situations. I've seen a basic move fail in a situation where a EX move for it would win out in that situation. Now I'm going to go into the training mode here to show you a little bit of the options. You can access the command list outside of training mode. I don't know if many people knew that, but you can. And here you're going to see your special moves, your super arts, unique attacks, throws, common moves, assisted combos. And by trying out all these moves here, I was able to figure out which attacks would chain into one another without using drive rush. I found that the special moves and the unique attacks, if you can figure out the combinations, they can lead into like a 1-hit, 2-hit, 3-hit combo, and then that's when you use drive rush to extend into another combo. And then depending on the situation, you can break out the super art. The command list also has both the button configurations for the modern and classic configurations. Me being a new player, I stayed with the modern controls. I didn't want to learn the classic controls. I think the game wants you to learn how to use modern controls, so I used the modern controls the entire time I was playing the game. And inside the training mode, you can turn on an option that'll let you see the frame data. I think this is a very helpful option here because understanding those split-second frames where you can get an advantage over another player is important. Like there's so many times where I was fighting someone and I was able to drive impact at the very last possible frame, and I ended up getting that because I was actually practicing in training mode with the data frames on, so I can see how my timing was and how I can improve it. You can also make adjustments to the training mode, such as like setting the CPU to have you combo practice, anti-air practice, which is extremely important, especially with punish. There's a lot of situations where I would be punching and kicking air in a match. You can also practice with different drive gauge levels, different super art levels. It took me some time to realize that a particular super art needed to be at level 3 in order for me to use it. Made a lot of mistakes of trying to use it when it was at level 2, and I didn't have it, so I ended up being punished for it and sometimes losing matches for it. So the training mode is a good way for you to understand the mechanics and what will happen in a match. But I think the best way for you to get better is to actually play people and to see how you react to certain situations. Because it's kind of like poker. When you play poker, you're playing you're not playing your hand, you're playing the person in front of you, or you're playing the other person. And it's kind of like the same with fighting games from a casual's perspective. You win games by figuring out your opponent and what your opponent likes to do. And you can only get that in actual matches, not against a CPU or in training mode. There's one thing that I think Capcom can improve upon is the engagement with other players. Like I said before, I've played in servers in other countries, and I've had conversations with other people there. And that's something that people like me would do. I remember during day 1, I was spectating a match, and there was a player that was constantly breaking the armor of the other player. And after they were done with the match, I wanted to ask him a question about it. And it seemed like a complicated process of trying to ask this person this question with how the chat function is. I had to go into the options, look up the person's name, and then try to send a message within the chat. So I think there should be an easier way to talk with people. I think you should be able to just interact with someone by getting next to them and then pressing a button and being able to access a private chat right there between you two, instead of this overall complicated process. Now, the gaming center was interesting. I remember day 1, I looked into it, and it had Street Fighter 2 Turbo the day I was in there. And I could have accessed it right then and there, but I wanted to play Street Fighter 6. And you can probably guess that all of the cabinets for Street Fighter 2 Turbo was empty. Nobody was playing that. Everybody was playing Street Fighter 6. I played Street Fighter 2 back in the day. I never played Third Strike. I didn't play 4 or 5. If there were Third Strike cabinets to play, I would definitely challenge some people to play Third Strike. It would be my first time ever playing it, and this is a good way for someone who's been away from the genre for so long to experience the joys of those type of games that so many people like. Overall, this hub experience was really nice. I think it's a lot better than all these other hubs that you see, like with Fortnite, Blood Hunt, especially. And it seems like it has a little bit more to do there than just jumping into a match with someone. So I would definitely recommend this to anyone who's curious about the game. If you want to just jump in a server in another country and just talk to people out there, yeah, I'm definitely pre-ordering, playing it day 1 when the full release comes out.